work area to be kind of clean for this. Here's the new stainless steel braided brake line. You want this in. This is a 17 millimeter hex head, and this is a 13 on the back side. You want to watch for this little clip when you insert the head into this holder, into the bracket here. This little clip goes up over the flange on the hose, on the end of the hose, and then thread the nut in as far as you can with your fingers. Right. Dry your hands off, get the brake fluid off of your hands. There's a 13 around the back side, like this. Hold it stationary, and then turn the top one with the 17. You want to go with the wrench just until it's snug, and then about another quarter turn after that. You do not want to over torque these. Alright, they're snug right there. So I'm going to go another quarter turn. That is plenty. Alright, pop the little rubber boot into this clip at the back of your hand, don't hurt yourself. Pull it through just enough to have some flex room with the suspension. Alright, now we'll put the caliper bracket on using the stock caliper bracket bolts. Make sure before you tighten it down that they're fully in and centered on the hole. There are torque specs on this one, on these, to get it just as close as you can. Do snug with your fingers again, and then use your 18 millimeter socket and do another quarter turn. Elbow grease required. Now we're going to put on the new rotor. Make sure before you put on the new rotor that you clean this flange with a wire brush and apply some grease to the outside. It's going to keep the rust from forming on the outside of this flange. Makes the removal process a whole lot easier. Now it's time to put the caliper on. Use the paper towels again if you want to. Carefully slide studs into the bolt holes on the back. Make sure your pads are pre-installed. And slide it over like that. Need 2 of the gold washers supplied and 2 of these gold retainer bolts. They are locking nuts. Thread them on until they kind of cinch down by themselves. They won't be all the way down on the flange. And I need to take a 5 millimeter Allen key, loosen these outside. I think that's the wrong one. There it is. Loosen the outside 2 bolts, because when they're threaded all the way through, they interfere with the bolt nuts and bolts on the back. It doesn't allow you to slide your socket over the top. Alright. These are 13 millimeter bolts. Just keep turning them until they pull the rotor all the way down. And you can't move it around with your hand. And then when you feel it cinch down, again, don't torque them down as tight as you can. Okay, so here's snug. Do another 1/8 of a turn like that. One day I'll get good at teaching on YouTube. Alright, we're snug. 1/8 of a turn. Alright, make sure the rotor is centered in between the pads. And it is. Alright, get your banjo bolt, pull the plug out of the back side of the caliper. This little black rubber plug is on the back side where the banjo bolt goes. Install one washer on the top of the bolt, slide it through the banjo fitting, and then the other washer on the back side of the banjo fitting, and then carefully thread it in the back of the caliper by finger. You want your line to be about in line with the pistons, so when you tighten down the bolt, you want your brake line to be running this way. It is a 15 millimeter, 14 millimeter. You want it just to be snug, and then 1/8 of a turn is all you need. It doesn't need to be tight. Cinch down extremely hard, just another 1/8 of a turn. You should be fine. Alright, now you can reinstall your wheel. Actually, you need to bleed your brakes first and then install the wheel. Cut that part out. I got too eager. Okay. Now I gotta get the brake bleeder. Be sure to clean the pine straw in your car. It's going to add 30 horsepower. Clean up the mess. Don't leave any brake fluid on the calipers. It'll eat the paint right off. That's a bad day. Your calipers are half red, half aluminum color. Grease up these lug bolts. They won't be stiff coming off. Just like a half a dab is good. Now, take out my handy smartphone, look up the torque spec on the wheels. The wheels are 130 Newton meters, which is about 30 Newton meters is 96 foot-pounds. Sure you're careful not to scratch your brand new beautiful caliper when you're putting the wheel back on. Ugh. I hate these. And I gotta clock it till one goes in. Please, please, please do not use an impact wrench to tighten these. You will break them immediately. Guarantee you. This is a 17 millimeter socket with an extension. Alright. While it is up in the air, do it nice and snug, not tight at all, in the correct lug torquing pattern. Check all of them. They're on there. Alright. Then you can lower it. Slowly. All the way to the ground. Broken. If you use an extension, torque spec will be off. Yeah. I always do it twice. Okay, that's it. Ready to go.